Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into Cursor, an AI-first code editor that's trying to fundamentally change how we interact with our coding tools. A lot of us feel like our current AI tools are helpful, for sure, but maybe not the true coding partner we were hoping for. So let's explore a tool that wants to be exactly that. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the problem with AI coding as it is today. Then, we'll look at Cursor's two-part platform. We'll dive into what it's like to use, uncover the secret that makes it all work, and finally, imagine the new workflows this unlocks. Okay, let's jump in. To really get what makes Cursor different, we first have to talk about where a lot of other AI coding tools kind of hit a wall. Look, the real challenge isn't just about spitting out code faster. It's about having an AI that's with you for the whole journey, from brainstorming architecture to implementation all the way to testing and writing docs. Most tools are just syntax helpers. They're not really in the trenches with you. And this is where Cursor's approach gets really interesting. It tackles that integration problem with a single platform that works in two very powerful ways. Here's the core idea, and it's brilliant. On one hand, you have the IDE for interactive creative work. You can literally pair program with the AI. But on the other hand, you get a command line tool. This means you can script the AI, automate tasks, and even plug it into your existing CI/CD pipelines. It's the best of both worlds. So, what does this actually feel like to use? Well, the best way to get your head around the Cursor IDE is to stop thinking of it as a tool and start thinking of it as a new teammate. And this is such a perfect analogy. You wouldn't give a junior dev a super vague one-line command and expect perfect results, right? Of course not. You'd give them context, you'd guide them, you'd review their work. You gotta treat the AI the same way. Okay, first up, there's the prompt bar. Just hit Command K. This is your go-to for quick, focused tasks. Think of it like a surgical strike. You highlight some code and say, refactor this, or add error handling here. It's fast and precise. Then you have the chat with Command L. This is for when you need to zoom out and ask bigger picture questions. You can ask things like, hey, can you show me where we handle user permissions in the codebase? And it will actually scan your project to find the answer. But for the really big jobs, there's the Composer. This thing is a game changer. It acts like a true agent. You give it a high-level goal, something like, implement a password reset feature, and it will actually figure out the steps, find the right files, and start writing the code. So you're probably wondering, how on earth does it know my project so well? This is the really clever part. It's not about training some massive model on your private code. The secret isn't fine-tuning. It's a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Just think of it like this. Instead of forcing the AI to memorize your entire codebase, which is like a closed-book test, Cursor gives it an open-book test. It's an expert at finding the most relevant pieces of your code and documentation and giving them to the AI right along with your prompt. And you're the one who gives it the book. You can create a .cursor rules file to set project-wide standards, kind of like a style guide for the AI. Or you can use Composer notepads for task-specific instructions. This is how you turn a general-purpose AI into a specialist on your code. Okay, so when you put all these pieces together, it really does open up completely new ways of working. Let's talk about what that looks like and what it could mean for the future. The most effective way to use this is to treat it like a conversation. You don't just give one command. You start broad. Build me a basic API endpoint for users. Then you refine it step by step. Okay, now add validation. Great, now add a performance optimization here. Finally, add doc strings to everything. It becomes a back-and-forth partnership. So, to put it all in perspective, here's how Cursor stacks up. GitHub Copilot, amazing for autocomplete, but it doesn't have that deep project-wide understanding. Other cloud tools might be powerful, but Cursor runs locally, which means you have way more control and privacy over your code. It really sits in a unique spot. So, if you're going to give it a try, remember these few things. Break big problems into smaller steps. Give the AI plenty of context. Always review the code it writes. Trust but verify. And hey, commit to Git often. It's your best safety net. And here's the ultimate power move. If you work on super sensitive code or just value your privacy, you can actually configure Cursor to use a language model running entirely on your own computer. No data leaves your machine, you get total privacy, no rate limits, and it even works offline. When you start using tools like this, it makes you wonder, Maybe the future of our jobs as developers isn't about being the fastest typist or memorizing every API. Maybe our primary role is shifting to become expert conductors, skillfully guiding these powerful AI agents to build the software of tomorrow.